What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And this one I'm going to be continuing to show you how to make the prototype. This is part 2, and in this one we're going to be getting basically the inner body done, which are going to be these polished black stone rings you can see, along with the kind of spider butt that he's got going on all the way back. Really just most of the underside, a lot of stuff you won't be able to see a ton of, unfortunately. But yeah, that is all. So with that being said, enjoy the tutorial. There's how far we get, and I will catch you on the flip side. Alright, so from the previous part, you should have the crab legs. For this part, you're going to need to start off the following. Polish deep slate. Polish deep slate slabs. Stone slabs. Polished blackstone walls, and potentially polished deep slate walls. I do think you need them, but I'm not 100% on that. I do see where they would be, but maybe we won't get there, who knows. So, if you would like to do one side and structure block it, as I think I mentioned, you can. For the bottom here, at least, we're going to do both sides at the same time. But I think for, like, the catnap pelt, I'll probably structure block it myself, because you'll understand when we get there. It's a whole lot of, organicness, because that's a word. You want to take the middle leg on either side, and from the... It's going to be this innermost row of polished blackstone. You're going to take the frontmost one and extend forward diagonally in by 3 with polished deep slate from the front one. So it'll give you this. You'll then extend forward one, forward diagonally in one, and then I guess forward 2 from there. Forward diagonally in one and forward 2 again. And then forward diagonally in one and forward 3. Cool. The first polished deep slate you placed this one diagonal will be brought down with a block and then an upside down slab. The next one will be brought down with 2 blocks and an upside down slab. And then the rest you can essentially just bring down with 3 blocks each. Now, while you do this, only on these ones, because I forgot this was like this, you're going to add an additional row on the inside. Just on these parts again. So I'll show you what it looks like from above once you do that. It'll look like this. That's the side that the right side has been done, the left side hasn't been done. So it really just makes it a little bit thicker, and it's because there's walls placed on the underside of this, and for them to connect properly, that was the method I used, or something like that. I don't know, words are hard. Cool. At the very front, the center 2 polished deep slate you can bring forward again. Underneath, with the exception of this frontmost polished deep slate, each of these lowest ones you'll place polished blackstone walls under. And again, you'll stop once this kind of, I think it is just once this diagonal exists, yeah. Once it kind of starts going up, you don't want to place under the slabs because it wouldn't actually connect, and that defeats the whole purpose. Whoops. There you go. In the middle, you want to... Basically, ignoring these front 2 blocks, you're going to take the next 2 rows back and the center 2 polished deep slate. You'll just kind of place a square inside of, like so. And then connect each of those together with what should be 5 polished deep slate walls in each row. Just a little handle. Behind that, I'm going to take in line with the top polished deep slate. Actually, if I just take this row of 5, I'll place a block inside of the middle one. I'll extend it back 1 and then in 1. Then back 3 and in 1 again. And then, hold on, I gotta get under. Back by 4 and then in by 1, which would connect. Then that center polished deep slate you can just extend back by 7. And then it'll stop there randomly. You can bring that full thing down to the same height as the rest, so 3 blocks down. And it will actually go further, but the top row doesn't, which is kind of weird. I think it's because there's like a... one of the, what do I even call them? The, like, ribs? It's not actually the ribs, but it's, like, sort of like a rib, sits on this, so I think there's a notch where that goes. Although I don't know if the notch goes, like, all the way through or what it does. I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't, actually. That's cool. You can take the bottom polished deep slate, and, okay, so this row here that you just placed should be a row of 8. You want to extend it back an additional 3, and then you're pretty much copying, I think you're copying everything. Actually, this side might be different, so go out 1, back 4, I think it is a little different, yeah, my bad. Back 1, and then out, or out 1, sorry, and then back 3 would be your thing. So you have that, basically. You would then extend back diagonally out by 1. You'll then go out 2. The middle block you will extend forward by 1, and the outermost ones you will extend forward by 5. Then out 1. Forward 3. Out 1, and then forward 2. So I think it is the same, it's just cut off at the end. And then you'll do the same thing here where you extend each of them up by 3. The exception is in the middle. Pretty much you're just not bringing any of the middle up by more than 2, I think, is the number. I'll tell you actually exactly what you're doing when I get there. The backmost one, I'll tell you real quick, actually, anyway. The backmost one is 1 up, and then all the others are 2. So, if I can actually reach that faster, this guy here is 1 up, and then these 2 are each just 2 up. But then everything else is 3, as it would be, I think, unless it doesn't actually... I would trim down maybe the end 3, right? So, 1, 2, 3, or something. Right, is that correct? Yeah. Yeah, I'll trim down these 3 as well. Sorry, it's really hard. Again, I don't remember what I did for half of this because it was kind of just built with thoughts and prayers, so I'll figure it out as we go a little bit. Or refigure it out, I guess. And yeah, that should really be all you need for that. You can copy those diagonals we have from the beginning on the backs of these. So basically, if you just take, I guess, the fronts of these, you'll go forward diagonally in 2, right? You should line up not the way that I did. What did I do? Oh, I see. I added an extra row. So you should, sorry, you should take a row off the front here. So it would be 2 on the end, and then you would go forward diagonally out 2, and you'll connect perfectly. Or just alternatively take that diagonal and see, yeah, okay, you'll have to trim that off. Apologies. And these are the same where this first one is down with a block and an upside down slab, and then the other one is 2 blocks and an upside down slab. Once we get, like, out of this portion, it'll be better. It just, this part sucks. You can do the same thing with the walls, actually, on the back portions here. The only difference is it would start from the same portion, just kind of where this ends. And instead of going all the way around, you would stop 1 short of the end of this row. Is that correct? Am I on the front? I am totally on the front. And then you would go in by 1 onto the kind of extra corner block that we placed right there. Nice. And then you can, from these outermost blocks, you'll go back diagonally out with a, I guess, a full row of 4. Sure, why not? It is what it is. So. And then you'll bring only the top 3 blocks over, or I guess, out again. And then only the top 2 back diagonally out. And you should connect into the middle of these back legs. If you aren't in that position, then move the legs if you're sure that everything in here is correct, because the chances of the legs being off by a block is more likely than the what we're building. Anyway, off of these end 2 rows, we'll just place an upside down slab under each. Nice. We can actually continue from this top block here. I'll go back diagonally in 2 and then back 1. Back diagonally in 1 and just back 2 for now. We'll go further, but that's a good starting point. Similar thing with the other side. You'll bring this first diagonal down with 2 blocks and an upside down slab. And then the rest are just down with 3 blocks. Like so. This end row, you will place a slab on top of this block. And then extend that back, or I guess towards you, with 3 blocks. Up with a slab. Towards you with a block, and you'll connect those blocks together. Extend that row of blocks down with 3 more rows of blocks, and then a row of upside down slabs. This part is going to be a bit weird, because we're basically building this to connect to something that it does connect to, but we're building part of that as we do that. You'll see what I mean in a sec. Disregard that if that didn't make any sense, because it's not important. I don't know, I figured I'd say something. You want to take this, like the part closest to this wall we just made, and extend this block down by 3. It should make it half a block lower than the upside down slabs. Then each of these 2 blocks on either side, you'll bring down with 3 blocks, and then an upside down slab. So it'll give you a pretty good, well, not a pretty good angle, but, you know, some sort of a slant like that. Directing our attention to looking flat from the back, this row of upside down slabs you can extend out on either side by 2. I'll place blocks on top of each one and then slabs on top of that. Bring the blocks out with another block and then an upside down slab from there. Both the block and the upside down slab can be brought up with 5 blocks each. I'll then place a slab on the inner block. And the outer block can be brought up with 2 more blocks and then a slab. The slab along with the 4 blocks below it can be brought out an additional 1. And then you basically want to place another row outside of that that's a half a block shorter on either side. So just these top 3 blocks can be brought out, and then the bottom block will be brought out with an upside down slab. And that'll give you this. Another thing we can do that'll sort of help us later is if you get out mangrove planks and take the, out of this top portion, these 2 slabs, I'm going to take the inner one and count down by 2 and place coming out of this polished cheapside on either side 5 mangrove planks. So it's just inside of this lower slab here as well. I'll then extend them in by 1 towards each other, down diagonally in 2, down diagonally in, and then you can connect together from there. Cool. A lot of things are getting connected now, although the front legs still aren't actually. Do they connect? Is that something that I do need to be doing? No, actually they don't. Okay, sure. The top of the middle section we made, these kind of ones here, the oddly like triangular shaped ones, a block below the top, you'll fill them in with polished deep slate, except for, well, there is a hole in them, but we're going to punch it out. If you don't want to do that, I guess what I would actually recommend doing is just leaving the, like, 4 most outer rows empty. Yeah, sure, that works. Basically, wherever the 1 diagonals start happening, so like this. You can see from the polished black stone 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And yeah. So much everything. Again, I think as we get higher, it's going to get better. Just some parts of the, like, lower body are gonna be real confusing because, you know, just look at it, honestly. It's definitely strange. You should have this. If you have it the way that I do, where you have 4 rows out, the next row, you're basically going to, from, I guess, this diagonal, you're going to count diagonally in by 1, leave this block, and then you would break the middle 7. Like so. And then the next row out, you'd break the middle 5. I had an issue with this where I actually had a 2-block center originally. I don't remember if I fixed it or not. It looks like I did. But, oh yeah, I think I had, like, the back side was weird, so I had to redo it. But, nice. And then the, like, backmost section closest to the back legs is just left open. There's nothing going on with that, other than what we did. The next part is probably going to be the most annoying part. You need polished blackstone. And where we left this opening in the center here, I'm going to... Where am I going to take specifically? 1 block back from where this polished jeep sit is, I'll place just off of this one a polished blackstone with 1 behind. You can extend that left and right a row. I might... Do I want to do this one side? Nah, that's fine. And then basically, when I say... You're going to left of this place 2 rows that are shifted back by 1 from this. So basically, you would take the back row and extend it left by 2, and then place just 2 behind. Or same thing with the right, like that. You then go up diagonally over 1, still staying in line. And then you'd go left twice from that, but they're shifted back by 1. Or I guess out 1, shifted back from the... Or out twice, shifted back once from that previous row. You would then go up diagonally out 1, and you can kind of see what this is giving you. Just this. And then from that point, you would do the same thing. You would place 2 rows to the going outside of that are shifted 1 back from the first one. This is the hardest circle out of the 3 of them that we're going to have to do. You'll go up diagonally out 1, and then out 1 with a row that's shifted back. Then up diagonally out 1. Up 1. Then up diagonally out 1, but it's also shifted back. Up 1. Up diagonally out 1. And then up by 2, but each of them are shifted back by 1 from that first row, I guess. Then up diagonally out 1 again, in the same thing where you're placing 2 rows above that are shifted just back by 1 from that previous guy. And then you're going to go up with another row, actually. Oh, this is getting really weird, because now the pelt is blocking the top of this. So, actually, give me a... You then want to place 1 more row on top of that is shifted back again. And then you're going to go up diagonally in 1 and up 1. And then you're going to go up diagonally... Actually, no, sorry, you're just going to go up by a row that's shifted back. Then you'll go up diagonally in 1. Up 1. Up diagonally in with a row that is shifted back. Up diagonally in 1 and in 1. Up diagonally in with a row that is shifted back. Then in by 2. Up diagonally in with a row that is shifted back again. Once again in by 2. Yes. And then you'll go up diagonally in with a row that is shifted back, and you'll just connect them together from there. So, all of that gives you this circle, basically. Wow, that looks really weird. That's also not as circular as I thought, but we're going to ignore that fact and move on. with our lives. So the reason this circle is the hardest is because you want to place more rings. Now, what is so odd about this is you're going basically back diagonally, right back or forward? No, it is back diagonally in by 2 and then back 1. And you want to repeat the circle just inside of itself. I wouldn't worry about this being perfect. Just do your best. It is certainly odd. But just kind of try to get it correct. Like, there are some parts like here where you just kind of can't. Or you could do a couple things there. You could go either flush like this, or you could actually bring these out. I'm just going to leave them flush. I don't think I did that originally. I'm not... This shouldn't affect anything big enough. And, like, here as well. Like, you know what I mean? You're going to have a gap like that. So, I'm going to just place a block. Did I have that down here? No. Well, I did have that. It's so weird. Like, it's not going to make sense. It is the unfortunate reality of it. So, do your best to try to make some sort of sense of it. But, again, I really wouldn't stress yourself over making it perfect, because it's not going to be. Especially, like, here at the top. You see, you'll have these extra blocks. And if you want to, like, pull them out, you can. I think I did originally. Again, but I actually have no idea. Who knows? And I might not even end up making this symmetrical, to be entirely real with you. Although, we're going to see if it works the same. Yeah, no, this is somehow different. Somehow, some way, I made it different. Which is great. I think I know how, though, because I would have... Yeah, when I take one side a specific way and I don't take the other the same... Like, because I inverted the direction I was going, it just screwed with it. But yeah, and then I'll have to go one more diagonal in, and I'm just going to fill both rows out as I do this, to be real with you. There's no point in waiting or anything. 1, 2, maybe I'll put a block there, I guess. I'm not sure. You're not going to see half of this anyway, so don't be concerned about it too much, because of, again, you're just not going to see it. You will see, like, the bottom of it a little bit, but aside from that, it's not visible enough for me to spend my time trying to be like, here's exactly how you got to do this part of it, you know? That's why I'm not caring as much. There are a lot of details on this build I added. Don't ask how I figured them out, but I got them in, and this was one of them, these circles. But of course, everything in their mothers covered it, so you didn't really end up seeing it a ton. What? Like, it'd be 2 there, and then it'd be 2 here. I'll put a block there. 1, 2, 1, 2. Although I did, when I did the original one, build everything and then mirrored it. So that's definitely going to be weird not doing that here, because you'll see the result of it, I think, in some instances. You can kind of just give it an eyeball test and be like, does that look sort of kind of symmetrical? And yes, it looks good enough to me. So, yeah. I might add a block here, because I think I have one on the other side. Yeah. Cool. Again, that one is definitely the most bothersome of the 3 circles. The other 2, I think, are the same. And they're easier. So, you get the double whammy there. You're going to start more forward, and you're going to be on... is it this polished deep side? No, we're going to be more forward than that. Where you have the 1 block gap between them, the frontmost row. And you'll place a polished black stone on either side, one, and connect them together with what should be a row of 3. I'll extend it forward by 1 and back by 2. And the other one is the same, actually. So what we can do there is... First, actually, what I'm going to tell you is place 2 additional rows off either side of this that are shifted back by 1. So they're going to be the rows of 4. And when I say shifted back by 1, I don't mean you're shifting each one back. I mean you're shifting back once from the previous area, and then however many rows I tell you is the amount that's shifted like that. So it looks like this, basically. If it doesn't make any sense, just, you know, there you go. If it shifted in each individual row, I would give it to you separate. But it's not going to ever be because it shifted in rows of 3. If it makes any sense. I might just be speaking words and they're just ringing off the old dome. But anyway, with your polished deep side wall, well, actually, just kidding. The inner row of polished deep side walls here on these funny guys we added last part, you're just going to break them and replace with polished blackstone. Is it both or just the one? No, it is both. You'll extend forward and backward an additional 1, and then in a row. That should leave you with 3 rows in the center where you'll just place polished blackstone joining. That does stick 1 further forward, or I guess is shifted 1 forward. And yeah. Do both of these circles at the same time. I'm sorry in advance, I realize that's a little annoying. But you want to go from this row of 4 on the side, just up diagonally out 1. I'll take this slowly. So you can do all 4, because you're doing 2 sides per circle, 2 circles so far. It's like the Lego math. You're then going to place outside of that 2 more rows that are shifted 1 back. So basically, again, as we're doing this, just count the amount of rows that are flat. So you'll see 1, 2, 3, and that'll confirm where you're shifting it, because it's every 3. I don't think it breaks at any point. I don't even think on 1 diagonals it does, even though it should. But yeah. You'll then go up diagonally out with a row. Did I do all 4? I did do all 4. And I think our next step will be doing his funny, like, spider butt. You will then place 2 rows outside of that are shifted 1 back from the previous one you placed. So again, you hit that 3. It'll get weirder as we get higher with, like, counting the 3s. Just because more diagonals. And then you will go up diagonally out with just a row. If you also are struggling following both, you can do 1 at a time and just follow this part twice, if it is giving you issues. You will then, outside of that, place a row that is shifted back, right? Yes. I'm going to just keep confirming by counting the 3s myself. Make sure I don't screw it up. You will then go up diagonally out with a row that is in line and also bring that up by 1. We've hit the upwards point of the circle. No way. We're past. I guess it would be the quarter mark. Right? That's how math works. Something like that. You'll then go up diagonally out with a row shifted backwards, and you can also bring that row up by 1 as you do that. This shadow is ridiculous. What am I looking at? It'll get less absurd, I think, later, but right now it's just a mess. Probably because everything is hollow and really just lines. Hollow Knight reference? You will, from that point, go up diagonally out with a row again. Make sure both sides of the circles you're doing are in line. You don't want to build one higher, and you also don't want to double up on something. Back circles lower by 2 blocks, I think, right? That's what it looks like. You will then place 2 rows on top of that are shifted 1 back from that bottom one. I think we're hitting that point already. You'll then go up diagonally out with another row. Yeah, I think we're at the halfway mark of the circle, almost. I think this part constitutes the halfway mark. You will then place 3 rows on top of that are 1 further back than that lower one, or shifted 1 back, whatever. I don't know why I said that one differently specifically. Not really sure. Don't think there was logic behind it, but, you know. And then you'll place another row on top of that that's shifted back again. And yeah, that should be, I think it's where we would go in. Yes, because there's mangrove blocking, and I can't see it, that means. That's cool. You will then go up diagonally in with a row and up 1 that are in line with the previous one. Too many circles, man. As in, it's, I guess, 3 circles because of the last one. You will then place a row on top that is shifted back one. Hopefully my keyboard's not too loud. Every once in a while mid-tutorial, I come to the revelation of how loud my keyboard actually is. It's kind of funny. And then from that point, you want to go up diagonally in with a row and up one. We're almost to the center, guys. Not really. We're getting there, though. I was looking at him over there like, good lord. You'll then go up diagonally in with a row that should be shifted one back. I'm looking at it inverted now, which is really weird for my brain on the other account. Since everything is in front of them for some reason. You will then go up diagonally in with a row and in one. And yeah, you'll start to see we're like fairly close to in line with the back one. I think the back one is also lower than the middle one. I think they each should be like evenly low, if that makes sense. You'll then go up diagonally in with a row that is shifted back and extend that row in by 2. Yeah, I'm cool with how far we've gotten so far in this part. I was kind of thinking this would be like the point, these circles, but obviously it's not even close to over yet, but still. You'll then do the same thing again that you just did, so you'll go up diagonally in with a row that is shifted back 1 and then extended in by 2. Hey, it looks like a rib cage now, the shadow. That's got to be made soon, too. Oh, that's going to be one of the weirder parts, I think. Getting the rib cage and also his hands in. And then from this point, you're just going to go up diagonally in by 1 with a row that is shifted back. And they should connect together. Now, when you have one row on each side... Am I off by a block? I'm off there. Oh, because I just missed a row of 2. That's cool. But when you are at this point, it should be 5 blocks you're placing in the middle, giving you a total of a row of 7 on the top. And that is correct. Cool. And if you don't have that, then again, I would just check. Because one of your sides should probably be correct. And I would just confirm and compare. And yeah, it's kind of what you get. Not really perfect circles, but because of the way that I shaped him like top down, it was very weird to get it to work right. So yeah, there will be some issues with that, I would imagine. Okay. So, what is the next step? Great question. Getting out your polished deep slate that you should already have, you want to head to the backmost circle and look forward. Off of these center 3 polished blackstone, you'll place polished deep slate, like so, on top. Extend them out in either direction by 2, which should give you, again, a row of 7. You'll go up diagonally out 1 on the sides. Out 1. Up diagonally out by 3. And up 1. Up diagonally out 1. And then up by 6. Up diagonally in 1 and up 1. Up diagonally in 3 and in 1. And then if you go up diagonally in by 1, you should place 5 polished deep set in the middle to connect and give you a circle. Nice. You are bringing this circle back. I'm going to take the center bottom block, and I'm going to bring it back until I am in line with this row of 2 polished deep slate on, like, the far back here. It's going to be in line with the frontmore one. This guy right here. And this same circle thing can also be brought forward until you are past the bottom of this second circle by just 1 block, like so. So that is the length that you are bringing the circle in either direction. And yeah, you can just fill it all around. And also fill the, at least the front side flat with polished gypsum, right? That's what we were doing? Yes, that is correct. So at the front, when you have this cylinder, you're just gonna warp fill it in. Don't fill in the back though, I guess you could, but there's no reason to, because we're just gonna do more with it in a sec. Or after this, I guess. Because I think that kind of makes the most sense to do. Get all of the, like, middle stuff done going backwards, and then we would do the rib cage, and I think we would start the jester body before we do the catnap pelt, only because the catnap pelt and the, like, back of the jester, I guess, cloak? Robe? What is it called? This is definitely a term for it, and I don't know what it is. The, like, back of the cape part, and the top of the catnap pelt kind of interfere with each other a little bit. So yeah, you would be surprised how many little things are going on with this, genuinely. When I was looking at it, so there was I was using 3D models and there was an animated one, and I was just like looking at it, and the amount of moving parts in this thing is insane. Like, I seriously wonder how much effort they went through with the animating and stuff, because, oh my god, not really something you think about, but when you're looking at it that close up, like, that's something you're thinking about. Every little piece has to move. And has to be manually animated. Just brutal. But honestly, respect to Mob for that, because they could have absolutely gone with a simpler model, but no, there are so many things. I also simplified this in a sense. There was some stuff that I saw and was just like, yeah, what if I didn't, though? Like some wires and stuff, just because I realized when I was about at, like, the point where I had his legs detailed, I was like, this is gonna be like a 3-year tutorial if I don't chill out. So I finally did chill out a little bit. But yeah, again, just not really something you think about is all that. And yeah. Although it was a fun statue to make. Definitely some parts were boring and dragged on. But I think single-handedly making the statue got me back into statues, because after I at least had started him, I did all the Amazing Digital Circus ones that you should have seen the community post for. And I also started Lily Lovebraids, which probably you won't have seen yet. She probably, I don't know. I was struggling with her face, mainly. I was struggling with a couple things, actually. Like, her body shape is weird. And she also short. Short as frick next to the prototype, but I mean, anything's gonna be short next to him, let's be real. I think my second tallest statue is Jax now? Maybe Jackie still. Jackie was pretty tall. But when I had built Pomni, actually, because she was the first one I did, I, like, looked over, or I looked behind me, because that set is behind the Poppy Playtime ones, and I saw, like, Catnap in them, and oh my god, they're so short compared to her. But again, I mean, Prototype makes everything look short, looking at the Nightmare Critters next to him. Not really a fair comparison, I'm afraid. So this thing, this cylinder that we're actively making, has the exact same thing going on as the, like, polished blackstone circle we made, where it's shifting up and back. After this point, this much is flat because I just built a giant cylinder to actually make him not hollow. Knight. And yeah, so just figured that was worth mentioning. But it's for, like, the spider butt, as I call it. You know, I'm like, my original thought was that the legs were from a bee, and he just didn't have the wings, because of that abdomen, or what is it called? I want to say thorax, but I don't know. There's too many words. Because of that part, I was like, maybe it's a bee, but the legs really are, like, the more that I say it, the more I'm under the assumption that they are crab legs, because they really do look like crab legs the more you look at them. Anyway, you should end up with this, and it is looking very strange right now. I do think the catnap pelt is the one thing that's going to make a lot of this look more uniform. But we're not going to get there until probably next part, to be real with you. Head to his backside, though, and we can start with the following. You want to make the same polished deep slate circle a block back, but it is shifted up a row. So you can basically just look over and see, yeah, okay. But again, keep in mind you are shifting up because you can absolutely just, like, blunder it somewhere and miss it. But, like, the sides are still going to line up. They're just going to be a bit higher. And yeah, that's really it. So it should look like that. For just so you kind of know what's going on, you're going to, beyond that, extend, I'm just going to take this bottom one and I'm going to extend it back 4. I'll then go up diagonally back 1 and back 2. Now here's where the fun happens and why this is so annoying. This has another angle on top of this angle. So basically, you're not kind of just directly filling this. If you took this end one, you would make the circle, again, at least start the circle. You'll have the row of 7, and then you'll have the diagonal of 2, the 1 diagonals, and then the other 2, and stop at that point before the row of 7. When you place the row of 7, it'll be, you know, out diagonally like this, but it also wants to be shifted forward 1. I'll explain why it's like this in a sec. And then you'll do the same thing. The 2 diagonal that's next would be, instead of just in diagonally up 1, it'd be in diagonally up and forward 1. And then the top of the circle from there is still the same. The reason, whoopsies, that's not right. It's like that, I think. Yeah. It is one diagonal? No, it'd be 2 1 diagonals. So my power went out mid-clip for this next clip, so if it sounds or looks weird at all, that is why. I apologize. I was able to get it back, thankfully, but just figured I should let you all know. When you angle it, the side would also be angled, which basically means instead of just filling the circle out this way, you still could and it would be fine. But what I ended up doing was basically copying off of this circle going forward 2 more times. And it'll keep that slanted shape of it and kind of turn it more into a cylinder. This is something I've been experimenting with on the smokestacks in Poppy Playtime. Like if you were to slant one. Although I guess I did it here first, actually. So it should look like this. And then you do the same thing where it would be shifted down a row, but you would copy the same circle. So you'd have these rows, and then you would go here, and basically following this shape a block down. And then when you hit here, you would have a gap, so you would fill it in. Again, my recommendation is try to be consistent. A lot of parts are going to have weird gaps that you're going to have to fill in and stuff, and that's fine. I wouldn't really worry about it too much. Just kind of fill them in and move on. But yeah, it is definitely weird. And then we're also going to have to even out the other one because of this. Alright, okay. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 is there. And I'll actually start back from the bottom and do it this way. Yeah, cool. If you will see, actually, it does look very abnormal like this because of the way that the top is. You actually can't see the top anyway, so I guess if you wanted to leave it, you could. But I would do the same thing where I basically just, I just need to know where each diagonal is, and basically where this one is, I might remove this block. Yeah, I'll remove the bottom of this row of 7 and add one on top at the, like, front end of the circle. And then for the 2 diagonals, I'll just go 2 more, 2 more, 2 more, for really the whole top. And this will actually slot it perfectly into the top of the polished blackstone, which is cool, I guess. What did I just do? Oh, I did that. Alright, because never mind, that shouldn't be further. Regardless, it should give you this. Weirdness aside. You can now get out stone, and we can continue doing this. So from the back side, you can basically back diagonally in a block, almost copy the circle with stone. I guess what I'm going to do is take the bottom and I'll bring the middle 5 polished deep set up diagonally back with a row of 5 stone. Like that. I'll then go up diagonally out 1 and out 1. And then I'll go up diagonally out 3. And then you would just go up 1, but I am going to go up diagonally forward 1 to, again, just still be mimicking the shape. Then up diagonally out 1. It'll be weird, don't worry about it. Up 4. Up diagonally in 1. Then up diagonally back 1. Then up diagonally in by 3. In 1, up diagonally in 1, and you'll connect together. It should still be 5 at the top. And it is kind of hard to see the circle, but it's there. And all these little 1 blocks, I'll just kind of fill in with polished deep set where they should be, which I leave this one because this one would be in line with the row of 7. Basically, you would just bring these side blocks in by 1 rather than going up or anything weird. And that's how you would fill in those holes. So, like, there would be there, here, here, here. Yeah, again, definitely a little strange, but... oh well. I will take the bottom stone and I will extend back 4. Up diagonally back 1. And back 4 again. And then I believe... is it there? It's the same? No, because you would go up diagonally back and back by an additional 1, and then it's there. I knew it was something weird going on. Yeah, this one doesn't make a ton of sense, but you would, again, copy the same circle. You can basically just look forward and copy it. And make sure you get all the strange diagonal spots in, like you'd have the 3, and then you would also want to make sure you still do the 1 going forward. And then it'd be out with a row of 5. And yeah. Like this. And it's the same thing again where you're filling it in whatever way you should. Basically just bringing each one forward by 1 to start. And then I'll go down diagonally, forward 1, and just copy the shape. 1, 2, and then I would go... where would I go? No, I guess I'd go forward here. Again, where the circle goes forward or backward, you will have extra blocks that you're going to need to end up placing. Like here, because you'd have the diagonal there, but you still need one there. It's a little weird. But if you wanted to, you could actually, instead of making it against like I am, just copy the shape in the middle of the circle and then just bring it forward. The only reason I think that might be better is because then you can at least kind of understand. Like if you build it here instead, you wouldn't be seeing these weird gaps and basically being influenced by them. But I'll figure it out one way or another. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you get the point. You're just copying the same circle. Or again, alternatively, you could just bring them forward and not really worry about the angle until after. I guess you could technically just add all the blocks after. It's a weird way to go about it, but... And then worst case, if it's a block or 2 off, it won't be huge. Again, I would just make sure both sides are the same. It's my big thing. And then, yeah, for this one, I'm actually just going to take the front one and bring it back by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then for this one, I will have to go back by 5. But just to fill in that gap. And then we have one more circle. One more in this area. How far into this are we? I can't remember. Has it been an hour? Yeah, almost. I don't know, I'm confused. This has definitely been a difficult tutorial, but this has been, like, terribly painful, at least for me. Although my hand right now is feeling it, so maybe I'm lying. The next part, you can take the bottom of this circle and go up diagonally in with the middle 3. You will then go up diagonally out 1 and out 1. Up diagonally out 1 and out 1 again. Up 1. Then you would go up diagonally out 1 and also forward 1, right? Yes, that is correct. Up 1. Up diagonally out 1. Up 2. Up diagonally in 1 and up 1. Then up diagonally in 1 and forward 1. Then from there you would go up 1 and then in 1. Up diagonally in 1 and then up diagonally in and connect together. Fill in all your goofy 1 diagonals with, or these 1 block gaps with stone the same way you did before, which is just taking these side ones and extending them in by 1. Because these two are the same block, it's a little bit odder to figure it out. Otter like the animal. And I'm also going to place a 1 there and hope that I remember that that is like that. Is it really only on the top? Huh, wow, that's weird. Anyway, I'll take the bottom center stone and extend it back by 2. Up diagonally, back 1 and back 3. And again, I'm going to take this end block and I'll copy this circle. And because this one isn't as much, it should be easier to join the two together, I would hope. Although, who knows? I just work here. Barely. Bloink. Oh my god, I can't place anything right now. I mean, I'm placing things, just not correctly. I was gonna say right on cue, but never mind, that was actually correct. So again, the circle should look like this. Basically it's 7 rows for the sides of those. The top and bottom change. It would have, I think, started as 7, but now it's 5, or now it's 4, now 5. Yeah. So again, I will bring this circle forward by 3 rows, and I'll bring the front one back by 2 rows. And they should just join, and any gap you can fill in however you think makes sense. There's normally one way that is a clear cut more makes sense, to me at least. And that would be the inner part of it. So like when I join here... So there, like, actually it'd be the, I guess it'd be the outer point there, huh? And then inner point there. I'm just gonna take the, whatever one the front more circle fills in is what I'm going with. It's an easier way out of it than anything else. Don't think about it, just place. Nice. And then the back you can flat fill with stone. Again, basically just taking each block on the sides and connecting them across in the center. And it'll give you the same kind of slant as before. I knew when I built this part too, I was like, this is going to be fun to do for the tutorial. I had that thought in the back of my head. Also, wow, that is weird looking. Nice. Head back to the polished deep set, and I want to be looking at the underside, like this. If you take the row in line with this wall here on the bottom, I'm going to break every other polished deep set, which would be the center one and then one out from either side. And also I'll actually break the inner block of these diagonals of 2. So another diagonal, I guess another other block out. I will break back an additional 3, and this will follow the slant. A block above each of these, fill them with stone. For these ones on the edges, I'm going to place stone on the side here and still fill a block up from the actual slant, basically. Like, from where the polished deep set we destroyed was, that's where you're filling ever so slightly up. And try not to trap yourself inside. Cool. You want to do a similar thing on the first part of the stone. Literally just the first 4 rows you're going to break, whoopsies, the middle, the sides of the row of 5, and then the outermost block of the rows of 2. And then I'll do the same thing, where a block above them I'll fill in with polished deep set. And I'll also bring up the previous part of the cylinder here to fill in these gaps with polished deep set. And it should give me this. And then you're going to do the same for the... This is a mistake on my part, I think. No, actually it isn't. Never mind. You would do the same from starting on... Is it this row of 2? Yes, it would be this row of 2. You would break the center, then the sides, and then you would break the outermost one of these rows of 2. And then you would fill polished deep set on top of these stone from the, like, previous row. And then again, just kind of... I guess it would be a block up. I'm going to fill like this, I think. Yeah, it's going to be kind of odd when you do it. So I am just going to, I think, fill in line with the stone there, except for the middle one. And then I would fill up diagonally back with another polished deep set, like this. Which, for the middle one, will be embedded. But for the rest, it actually wouldn't end up being embedded. Again, I think this was an issue with me deciphering which part was which. And that I just took the bottom of the next circle. I don't know, it's weird. On both of the stone parts, though, the outermost row you will break for this one. Well, not the end row, but one in on these sides. You would break the center 5 stone, and then one more block down and also up. When you break up, at least I went over a block like this. I actually don't think you should. I think you should be flat with it, at least on the sides of the big stone. And again, polished deep set a block back. I'll fill this side with, I guess, stone here would probably make more sense. But yeah, just something like that. That's actually wrong. It would be like that. It'd be the middle 5. Block back, and then another block back from there for the next one up and down. It's a little weird, for sure. All of this is, I'm just going to be real with you. I don't think there is a normal part going on here. And then for the end of this circle, it would be the middle 3, and then you would just break... I have it 2 going down, and then... You can just do 2 going up. I have that circle shifted a little weirdly, I think, on the original. To where this wouldn't be exactly like this. But I think that's, again, an error on my original one, not this one. You can just get out yellow terracotta in addition to what you have and head to the far back of this. From the... It'd be the 4th row of stone up. You want to place yellow terracotta off the middle 3. You will then go up diagonally, out 1 and out 1. Just kind of stick flat to the stone as you do this, though. Then up 1, up diagonally, out 1 and up 2. Up diagonally, in 1 and up 1. Then in 1 again. Up diagonally, in 1 and connect together. you can, from that point, hold on, I just want to check something. Okay. Place stone blocks where you have these corners of yellow here, these kind of right angles. I'll place stone off each of the end yellows, just leaving the actual corner one alone. And then I will connect the stones together from there. I'll bring the bottom row out an additional one. And then I'll just fill the rest flush like this. I actually do have it, and again, I'm not sure why it's like this, but on the original, these top 2 rows of stone here, on this like middle portion, are shifted back by 1. So if you would like, you can break them like this, and then just shift in. And when you do that, you'll actually have to redo the little polished deep slate lines on these sides to where they're here instead. I'm genuinely not sure how I got to this point with it. I don't know what it came from or why it's like it, but it is. So yeah, it should be like this. And if you want to add an additional stone here, then you can, just in line with the top of these slats that you would have had to shift like that. Basically, the top of the slat is just shifted forward a block with that stone. And then that would mean these little right angles of yellow will also have to be shifted over, along with the top 2 rows of stone for this circle that we're actively building, which would give you this, essentially. I'll show it from the side. Again, I don't know why, because that doesn't make it symmetrical, but whatever. From this point, you can get rid of your yellow terracotta, your polished black stone, and I guess your mangrove planks, and get out stone stairs, andesite slabs, and polished basalt. On the... It'd be the very... If you find the very center stone here, it would be in line with these rows of 3 yellow on the sides and 3 off of either side. You'll count down 1 and place a stone stair facing back. Another one to the right, and then a stone block to the left. From the rightmost stair up diagonally right, you can break this block, and you'll have a polished basalt facing outwards, like so. From the top center stone, you will count down diagonally left 1 and place an upside down stone stair facing back here. And then extend it towards you with an upside down andesite slab, and then kind of ignoring upside down versus right side up, you'd go up diagonally towards you. Then I guess it'd be back. Not, I mean, towards you works, but either way. Up diagonally, back, and back again. And then up diagonally, back one more time. And that'll give you this, essentially. That is that part done. Congratulations. Ignore the chat messages about to pop up. Oh, never mind. That did not even do it. Okay, it didn't change. Oh, yes, it did. I don't understand this game. Anyway, the only other thing I really want to do is connect the legs. They have wires that go into the main body, so we can just get those out of the way. Get out mangrove planks, and from each of the legs, on the right side first, I'm going to take the back side of them and take below this upside down stone slab. I'll break this polished deep slate, replace it with a mangrove plank, and extend it out by 1. Is it? I just want to make sure on the backmost one that it is still backwards. Yes, it is. Cool. They kind of sort of each work differently. So if you take the frontmost one, it would be up diagonally, back and left by 2. Like that. Left one. Up diagonally, back and left. Left 2. Then the same again, up diagonally, back and left 2. Up diagonally, back and then left 1. The back 2 should be the same on either side, so if you want to do both the left and the right at the same time, I'll quickly go over it twice for both. Starting from this middle one, though, you'll go up diagonally, back and left 2. Then left 2, up diagonally, back and left 1, and then left. Up diagonally left 3, and then up 2. And again, I will head to the left side now and take this middle leg, and I'll replace this polished deepslate with a plank and extend it back. Then go back diagonally right and up by 2. If I could actually place my blocks. Right 2. Up diagonally back and right 1. Right. Up diagonally right 3 and up by 1. Then for the back leg, I will start on the right here. Make sure you get that original row of 2 mangrove in first. You want to go up diagonally back and right by 2. Right. Up diagonally right. Up diagonally forward and right, and then right 1. Then again up diagonally forward and right. And then up diagonally forward and right once more. Up diagonally forward and right with the diagonal. You know what I mean. And so again, for the other side, you'll take this back 1 and go up diagonally back and left. Twice, I'd suppose. Left 1. Up diagonally left. Up diagonally forward and to the left. Then extend it left 1. Repeat that. And then you'll go the up diagonally forward and left again. Cool. For the front left leg, the one that's sticking forward, you're going to take the right side here of it, and you're going to take this bottom polished deepslate, do the same thing, replace it with a mangrove and extend it right, the one under this slab. You'll go up diagonally back and to the right, and then extend that block back. Up diagonally back right again and back. Then again. And then you'll go up diagonally back right 3 times, and you should connect. And it should connect. I just had a diagonal wrong here. But yeah, that was a little bit of an oopsie. Do I want to connect those? No, I think I'd rather wait for the ribs on that one. So yeah, once you've done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is part 2 of the prototype complete. That one was a little crazy for me because of the the power outage. At least I didn't lose that footage. I would have gone crazy if I lost that part. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.